Hey everyone, and welcome back. You're here because you're looking to hire a Mercurial expert, right? Someone to really master your version control needs.
That's right.
Well, finding that perfect person isn't always easy.
Yep.
So we're diving deep into the world of Mercurial today,
Absolutely.
answering all your top questions about hiring these experts. And we've got some awesome insights from theperfectdeveloper.com to help us along the way.
Can't wait.
They really are the best for finding top developers. By the way, if you want to get started right now, head over to theperfectdeveloper.com and try out their 5 questions tool.
Yeah, it's great.
It's really designed to help you figure out exactly what you need in a Mercurial Pro. Okay, so let's get down to it. What does a Mercurial expert actually do? I mean, beyond just the basics, you know?
Right. It goes way beyond just knowing the commands. A true Mercurial expert is all about efficiency and strategy.
Especially with those big projects and huge teams.
Oh, absolutely. Think about it. Branching and merging can get pretty complex in Mercurial. One wrong step and you've got a major headache.
You're telling me. It's like trying to keep all these code changes flowing together like some kind of crazy dance.
Uh-huh. Exactly. They're masters of managing those intricate workflows. They understand the ins and outs of Mercurial's branching and merging model, which, by the way, is quite different from Git.
Ah, interesting. So it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
Definitely not. For example, Mercurial's named branches, those are super useful for features that take a long time to develop, which isn't as straightforward in Git.
Makes sense. Now, some people might think, hey, can't I just hire someone who kind of knows Mercurial? Like, isn't all version control basically the same?
Well, a lot of devs are adaptable, sure.
Yeah.
But those little differences in Mercurial can really trip someone up.
Yeah.
And those mistakes can get really costly, especially when you're dealing with a complex code base.
It's like you don't want to be unraveling that mess later on. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room, salary. What kind of numbers are we looking at when hiring a Mercurial expert?
Right. Well, theperfectdeveloper.com has some great data on that. It really depends on a few things: experience level, location, and even how critical Mercurial is to your project. But just to give you a general idea.
Yeah, what's the ballpark?
Okay, so in the US, a Mercurial expert can usually command somewhere between $80,000 to $130,000 per year.
Wow.
Now, in Western Europe, it's more like 45,000 to 80,000 euro. And then in Eastern Europe, there's a really booming tech scene there. You might find skilled Mercurial experts for around 25,000 to 50,000 annually.
That's quite a range.
It is. But remember, these are just averages. For more specific salary insights, you know where to go. Theperfectdeveloper.com.
They're the salary gurus.
Yeah.
Okay, another big decision. The hiring model. Full-time, part-time, or even outsourcing. How do you figure out what's best?
Yeah, theperfectdeveloper.com has a great framework for this. It all boils down to what you need. If you have a big team and you need constant support with Mercurial, a full-time expert is probably the way to go.
Makes sense. But what if Mercurial is just a small piece of the whole project?
Then maybe a part-time hire or even a freelancer would be a better fit.
Yeah.
And if you've got a specific short-term project, bringing in a freelancer or an agency could be the most efficient way to go.
So it's about aligning your hiring model with what your project actually needs and how long it's going to take. So you found some potential Mercurial experts. Now the question is, how do you actually test their skills to know if they're the real deal?
You got to look beyond the resume. Experience with Mercurial is a must, obviously, but you really want to dig deeper. Theperfectdeveloper.com really stresses the importance of technical interviews with specific scenario-based questions. Like, you could ask, how would you handle a merge conflict involving multiple branches?
I like it. Put them on the spot.
Exactly. You want to see how they solve problems in real time. And even better, practical tests. Give them a coding challenge that uses Mercurial to solve a real-world problem.
That's a great way to see their skills in action.
Yeah, it shows you how they think under pressure.
I love it.
And how they apply those Mercurial skills to real-world situations.
That's brilliant. It's like a little Mercurial test drive. See if they can handle the twists and turns. But okay, we've talked about technical skills. What about personality? I mean, you don't want a brilliant coder who can't communicate or work with the team.
Totally. Technical skills are super important, but they're not everything.
Right.
You're right. A Mercurial expert who can't collaborate or doesn't fit in with the team's vibe can cause more problems than they solve.
True. So how do you figure that out during the hiring process?
Go beyond those typical interview questions. ThePerfectDeveloper.com recommends using behavioral questions.
Okay.
So you can get a feel for how candidates have handled real situations in the past.
Like, give me an example. What kind of questions would really dig into those soft skills?
Instead of asking like, are you a good communicator? Try something like, tell me about a time you had to explain a complex technical issue to someone who wasn't technical. How did you do it? Or instead of, are you a team player? Oh, ask about a time they had to deal with a conflict within a team.
Oh, I like that.
Their answers will give you a much better sense of their communication style, how they solve problems, how they approach teamwork, all of that.
Yeah, it makes them actually show you, not just tell you. Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about salary negotiations. Always a little awkward, but super important.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the best way to approach those conversations?
The key is, it doesn't have to be a battle. ThePerfectDeveloper.com has some great tips for this.
Lay them on me.
First off, do your homework. Know the typical salary range for Mercurial experts in your area for the level of experience you're looking for.
I bet ThePerfectDeveloper.com can help with that.
They're amazing for that kind of research. And remember, it's a negotiation. So be prepared to talk about different options, be willing to compromise. Maybe a candidate's open to a slightly lower base salary if they get more equity or flexible work arrangement.
Flexibility is a big deal these days. For a lot of developers, it's almost as important as salary.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about finding a package that works for both sides, something that's really attractive to top talent. So let's say you found your Mercurial superstar, you've agreed on the money. You might think you're done, but there's one more crucial step. Onboarding.
Yes, onboarding. So important, but so often overlooked. It's way more than just showing them where the coffee machine is, right?
Exactly. It's all about setting them up for success from day one. ThePerfectDeveloper.com really emphasizes making your new Mercurial expert feel welcomed and supported, like they're part of the team.
Yeah, like you're invested in them.
Exactly. So they feel empowered to do their best work.
So how do you knock onboarding out of the park? What are some of the key things to remember?
Communication is huge. Before their first day, send them a welcome email. Lay out what to expect, any paperwork, accounts they need to set up, all that. You don't want them wasting their first day on logistics.
Keep that momentum going.
Right. And when they arrive, give them a tour. Introduce them to the team. Make sure they have a mentor, someone to answer questions, show them the ropes.
It's like having a Mercurial buddy.
I like that. And of course, setting clear expectations is crucial. Make sure they know their main responsibilities, what the team's goals are, how you guys communicate and collaborate.
Get everyone on the same page right from the start. But onboarding isn't just a one-time thing, is it?
Definitely not. It's an ongoing process. Check in with them regularly, provide feedback, be open to their suggestions. The more you put into their onboarding, the more likely they are to feel valued and engaged.
Which brings us to our last big topic. Keeping those Mercurial masters happy and engaged for the long haul. It's like, how do you keep those rock star developers from jumping ship? What's the secret sauce for keeping Mercurial experts happy and engaged?
Well, it's more than just a big paycheck, although that definitely helps.
Of course.
ThePerfectDeveloper.com talks a lot about creating a work environment where they feel valued, like their work matters.
Like they're not just a cog in the machine.
Exactly, and where they're challenged and empowered to grow.
So creating a place where they can thrive, both professionally and, as a person. What are some of the things that go into making that kind of environment?
Flexibility is a big one. Top developers, especially those with specialized skills like Mercurial, they often really value things like remote work options or flexible schedules.
It's a way of showing trust.
Right.
Respecting their work-life balance.
For sure. It says, we value your time. We get that you have a life outside of work. And another thing, you don't want your Mercurial expert to feel stuck. Make sure there are opportunities for them to grow within the company.
So it's not just about the project they're working on right now, but also about their future career path.
Exactly. Give them projects that push them, that make them use their skills in new ways. Encourage them to learn new technologies. Support their professional development.
Investing in their future, not just what they can do for you today.
Right. And of course, compensation is important. You got to make sure you're offering a competitive salary and benefits package, something that reflects how much they bring to the table.
Yeah, you want them to feel like they're being rewarded fairly, like you recognize their value.
Absolutely. But beyond those practical things, company culture is huge. Create an environment where people feel good about coming to work.
Yeah, make it a place where people feel respected, appreciated, where they actually enjoy working with each other.
Yeah, exactly. So Foster open communication. Celebrate when the team wins something. Make sure your Mercurial expert feels like they're part of the team, not just a code monkey.
It's that sense of belonging, right? Like being part of something bigger.
Totally. And don't forget about just simple recognition. Acknowledge when they do good work, celebrate their wins, let them know you appreciate them. A little praise can go a long way.
It's amazing how much a simple thank you can make someone's day.
It really can. And remember, happy developers are productive developers.
That's the truth. When your team's engaged and excited to be there, that's when the magic happens. That's when you get the innovation, the successful projects. So much good stuff about how to keep those Mercurial experts around. It's not just about finding the right person, but creating an environment where they can thrive and do their best work. Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this Mercurial deep dive. From what they do to how to find them, how to test their skills, how to bring them on board, and even how to keep them happy.
It's been a whirlwind.
It has. But we've given you some really powerful tools to make that whole hiring process smoother and more effective. So if you're ready to start your search for a Mercurial expert, we can't recommend theperfectdeveloper.com enough. They've got everything you need. Tools, resources, even their amazing 5 questions tool. It's like a cheat code for finding the perfect developer for your needs. Try the 5 questions now at theperfectdeveloper.com.
It really is an incredible resource for anyone looking to build an awesome tech team.
So here's our final takeaway. Don't let those version control challenges hold you back. Find the right Mercurial expert, build a fantastic team, and go after those big, ambitious goals you have for yourself and your company. Until next time, happy coding.